Hello, I'm Peter Knox. This is Hugh McLachlan.
Well said, Pete.
This is 15 Minutes of Shame, and you're welcome to it. Hugh.
Pete.
But I believe your friends call you Shug.
It has been known to call me that, yes.
So, Hugh, I hear your band, the Reverse Cowgirls, has got a new album out.
Oh yes, Pete, they do have.
Tell us a bit about it. Actually, before you tell me a bit about the album, do you want to go through who's in the band?
Yes.
Because I know you've had a few lineup changes over the years.
There has been a few lineup changes over the years. Not many.
No.
Now everybody's running away immediately.
Mm-hmm.
It's really taken a few years for to wear them down.
Yeah.
Then they're gone. But, so Terry was originally the lead guitarist when we first started.
Terry's out.
Terry Tokel. Terry's out.
Sorry, Terry.
And then Kath joined for a number of albums.
Many years he was in.
Yeah. And,
Great guitarist.
He's left now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're currently on the lookout for some...
You're recruiting?
yes.
All right, okay, I didn't realise
I
that.
just want to put that out there now.
So, if anyone's looking.
Yeah.
And you've got Elaine.
Oh, sorry. We have Elaine who plays bass
Yeah.
and a voice of an angel.
Yeah, she sings as well, doesn't she?
Yeah. And John Gordon, who is the drummer and also has quite an angelic voice as well.
Yeah, he's a bit of a legend, isn't he?
He is. Yes, he definitely is. And so we're the main core of the band.
And what's your new album called?
It's called Fortis e Fides.
Is that Latin or something?
Yes,
I
Pete.
didn't know you spoke Latin.
Well, strangely, there is a story involved in that.
Right, what's the story?
You want to hear the story?
Love to.
Right, okay. So, Kim, my sister, loves the whole Glasgow history and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we were always played about the necropolis when we were younger. And so one time she was up there with a friend and spotted this gravestone.
Right.
And it said Fortis e Fides.
Okay.
And underneath it said Hugh McLachlan.
Ah.
Yeah, so she sent me a picture of it.
Wow.
Somebody said recently, too much perspective, really. and it said writer, and it stared like, oh, you know. But and I thought, like, I'm going to use that one day.
Yeah.
And I did.
So Kim passed away, so that's a kind of tribute to her.
Yeah, yeah. The album is generally a tribute to her, a celebration, really.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is quite a celebratory album, I feel.
Well, I remember you saying a joyous frolic.
It's a joyous frolic of an album.
And
yeah.
I thought, yeah, okay, I'll take that. Yeah.
I think it's my favourite. Is it your favourite Reverse Cowgirls
Well,
album?
yeah, probably in that. I think it's the one that I always wanted to do an album that would hold together well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Everything sort of pulls together and supports each other, and I think this album does it.
It's coherent as hell.
That sort of thing.
It's cohesive.
Yeah, cohesive.
That's maybe what I was
yeah,
looking for.
yeah.
So you and Kim, when you were kicking about, you were hanging around with a lot of people who've ended up in bands and part of the cool scene. So what got you into music?
Well, I was always a fan, a bit of a loner, really, you know, and so I think lots of folk get into music go that way, you know. Lots of my friends who I grew up with when wouldn't go out of their general area, right? So
within the Glasgow regional area.
This area, Dalmarnock.
Okay.
Really, they never
So if
moved.
you're in Dalmarnock, you're not going to like Byers.
Well, I just know that my friends didn't, you know,
Right.
generally, and then like punk rock was happening, so look, I would go in the town myself, you know, in search of this sort of thing, and like weirdly now, the people I'm still friends with years later were from the same ilk. They were going up to these venues themselves, and like we shared stories later. We were like, I was there for the same reasons.
And because of the Glasgow punk ban, was that why the nightclub scene was quite strong?
Well, when you say nightclub scene, it wasn't like a discotheque or anything like that. It was there would be a band on, you know,
Right.
and like we would be there skulking at the side, like.
It's like Splash and stuff.
Well, this is pre.
Right,
This,
okay.
you know, this is like night moves when you would get like, well, even before that, where you would get like Susie and the Banshees playing at Tiffany's, or like all the Apollo gigs that happened where Jam 69, the Pistols, just as they broke up, and things like that. You know, I'd go myself, or I'd encourage friends to go along, but a lot of the friends I made through that time were through my sister, who was like very outgoing, well, more than me at the time.
And she documented a lot of this with her
She
camera.
had pictures, yeah, and like lots of pictures are now in like sort of films and like Teenage Superstars and like various sort of books and the like, you know, like yeah. Especially like things with Teenage Fan Club, BMX Bandits.
So like Teenage Fan Club and BMX Bandits, Soup Dragons, they've not got a sort of punk sound. Do you think maybe the postcardy stuff was more of an influence later on, or?
Well, yes and no. I mean, like I always thought like, the punk thing was the DIY and like thinking for yourself, you know, and like it didn't necessarily have to be loud and brash, which was the opposite of like that's what eventually I think they became that way, you know. It was like the antithesis really a bit, you know, of what that was, but I think they captured the essence of it, like, in that it was a punk spirit, you know. It was like think for yourself, you know, and if that inspired you, then go for it, you know, which they did.
Yeah. And were you brought up in a musical family? Did you get any music lessons?
My granny played the spoons for a while.
Okay. Yeah.
So
tablespoons?
That was very inspirational. I remember being forced to sing Crocodile Rock one time in the living room by a man who had a brush and stuff like that. So
right.
There was rock and roll in my blood.
And when did you first get an instrument?
Instrument wise, I remember setting up cardboard boxes in my room with bamboo sticks, like attempting to be a drummer. And
so was drum your first love?
Living that, yeah. And then I remember like playing tapes back and singing. It was like 2 double tape decks. Well, 1 tape deck and another tape deck, and playing Passenger and trying to sing it over.
Right.
Because I really loved. I loved that song for early age, but the first one he inspired me to sing, you know. But I was always writing as well, you know. I liked writing, so yeah.
So did you feel confident about writing songs? Did you think I'll just give it a go, or?
No, not at all. I remember it being the writing thing would be. I remember doing this thing, and I don't know if anybody's ever tried this, but like writing something and trying to make it fit into the tune that you were doing. So whether it was over long or like didn't fit into. So that was sort of a weird way to go about it. But like I suppose like it could eventually fit. Is there any right and wrong way to do anything like that, you know? But that was my first attempt in thinking, how did they do it? Yeah. How do people do it? And like just like a puzzle, try to get it to fit. You know?
So what was the first band you were in, and what role did you have in that?
It was a band called The Prayers.
Right.
But previous to that, I was in various bands with like Norman and Sean and Douglas.
That's Norman.
Teen Fan Club and
Douglas T-Bone Stewart.
Yes.
Of this parish.
Yes.
15 Minutes of Shame.
Yeah, and Sean, we were all just messing about because I knew them.
Hi-fi Sean.
Yeah, I knew them from the Dolphin Arts Centre because my sister had been going to it and doing the acting, the sort of drama type thing. But it was quite an unusual thing for, it was at Bridgeton Cross, which is not far from here in the East End. And I remember like him saying, I don't know if I was trying to be cool or like, it was just a weird thing for me to think to go to because it was an acting thing and all that. And I went there and I met them through that. Eventually I sort of succumbed to her to come and tell me how exciting it was, and meeting all these people like Francis and Eugene and like all them were all going to this place.
The Vaselines.
Yeah. Well, they weren't there.
Went on to become.
Yeah. So then we were starting to go to Bells Hill and just playing through there. And just,
what sort of venues were there? Was it like sort of church halls or pubs?
No, there was a place called, what was it? Harrington Hotel. I've got the name completely wrong here, but something like that. And we would go and we'd go and play there. I remember I was playing violin at one point. Because Norman worked in a music shop and he used to like leftover violins.
Right.
So we were all just finding our way and attempting. But I remember that was initially like when I thought like I was allowed to sing my first song, and we were all encouraging each other.
So how many bands have you been in? Give us a list.
Oh right. The Prayers. We had a few singles out in Egg Records, which were based in Prince Edward. Well, it was just off Vicky Road. Jim Kavanagh used to run it. We were on the same label as Bachelor Pad and stuff like that. And they organised some gigs.
Right, so it's 15 minutes, a shame. We're going to need a snappier list.
Sorry. I know I'm going off a tangent here, but the Prayers, a band called Fat Lip.
Fat Lip.
Yeah.
Good name.
And then
Ghosts.
Ghosts, I forgot about, yeah.
They're in the mix.
Yeah, Bucky Rage.
Bucky Rage and then
Reverse
Cowgirls. So you started the Reverse Cowgirls while you were pretty busy with the Bucky Rage. Did you just need somewhere for the rejected songs to go, or what was what?
I was wondering when this was going to come. No, well, I mean, like, I always, the Ghosts were a sort of country-fi Americana type thing, and like, I was still carrying that on, I was still writing, you know, and like, I mean, cause I always loved like, getting something finished, and so I was still doing that, and like, as you well know, the Rage we sort of shape things together to a certain extent, you know, but whereas I would finish things myself and get an idea of what things were. And
so you come to the Cowgirls and present like a finished song?
In a way, yeah, more or less, and then we fit in like where vocals lie and any other wee breaks and stuff like that, and just tweak it, you know what I mean, for it to suit what we were doing.
Yeah. Because I remember some of them saying, you know, oh, we've got all these ideas, but he won't let us do them. The guy's a tyrant.
Did you see that? He still says that.
Yeah. So
I didn't think that would come out.
When so like you live in West End of Glasgow nowadays, do you do a big shop for the week, or do you just get bits as you go?
That's a strange question, because we have had recently we've been ordering in.
Right. Okay.
And this is it's a revolutionary thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's forced because of the climate in the last couple of years, and
the Pando.
The very one. So we have been doing the online shopping thing. But I must admit, I do like a good supermarket shop when you see the odd sort of thing where you think.
Spontaneous buying.
Yes.
But do you normally do a list, or do you try and keep it in your head? What's your method?
It usually ends in an argument of sorts, where we, there's things that are forgotten, and I keep thinking we should be doing a whiteboard list. How do you do it?
Well, we're almost next door to an Aldi, so we can just pop up.
You have your wetsuit and a turn up.
Yeah, but if I do write a list, I usually forget something somehow, but if you cross it off, you stand a good chance.
Yes.
How old were you when you first got a guitar?
Oh, when I went to, my dad was a janitor in the school, so there was guitars
one left behind.
What's that? So there was musical stuff.
So you could go into the music room and have a play about?
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
So there was that sort of thing. But I was generally really frustrated, probably now I'm not advanced that much, but like pick it up and wonder how I'm not playing like the guys that you
like
saw.
Hendrix.
Yes.
Yeah.
And go, you know, and see black, and that would be the end of that sort of career.
So the Reverse Cowgirls have supported some pretty good bands over the years. I'm thinking Congo.
Always a bridesmaid, never the bride really. Yes, we did. We've spoken to Kid Congo, John Spencer. Quite, yeah.
Well, that's pretty good. And have you got any gigs coming up?
We have. It's playing catch up now after like not playing for such a long time, and with the album kind of, it's like slowly getting back at it. We haven't got a guitarist at the moment, so we've been getting borrowing guitar slingers from other bands. So we have got a gig in Spain.
Right, okay. How did that come about?
In Madrid. Well, Lindsay Hutton had said many years ago that he was going to organise something in Spain, and we never thought any more of it. You know,
right. Who's Lindsay Hutton?
Well, Lindsay has been about for years. He used to do like Next Big Thing fanzine, which was big back in the day, and he's just always been involved in sort of supporting bands. He's just like pure enthusiast.
And was he in Scotland and he moved to Spain or what?
No, I think he's been about and just been on the scene for such a long time that he's got lots of good garage bands, lots of good independent bands, and he's made friends with all these sort of what we'd call famous musicians over the years, and I think like that's his natural second home over there in Spain, and so he's always said he was going to organise something at one time and get us over. Again, just saying we were sitting waiting to see if, didn't think any more of it at the time, and then true to his word, they organised this thing, and I think just after the pandemic and stuff like that, it was just like he would want to get things moving, and so that's our next gig in Madrid in September.
Have you been to concerts abroad before? As an attendee?
Yeah, I think I saw Future Heads one time in New York.
Right.
And I saw a few bands down in England one time.
Oh, that's pretty exotic.
Yeah, we like to travel.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And if someone wanted to buy your LP, how would they go about doing that?
Generally, what I've been doing is usually we would sell them the gigs, but we've not been playing that much. So what we've been doing recently is if anybody goes on to Bandcamp and invests in the digital copy, I will send them a hard copy on.
Right.
Because we would include the post and package, and usually about like 12 of your pounds.
So what's it called again? I can't keep it in my head.
Fortis Fidus.
Fortis Fidus.
Yeah.
That's easy, really.
Yeah, and I should have brought one with us to do that.
What do you think are the best 3 bands you've ever seen in your life?
Best 3 bands? Oh, that's a difficult one. Probably Johnny Thunders at Night Moves was pretty exciting stuff.
Did you meet him?
We did. I did later. Yeah. And he was pretty slick. He's quite the man. And me and Al went to see Jam Messengers one time.
Right.
Down at Stereo, and that was pretty mind blowing. There was only a few people there, and the show was just so fab.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
And did you meet Kim Fowley?
I did meet Kim Fowley one time.
Right. Is he a nice chap?
He was just as flamboyant as you'd imagine. Yeah. But I mean, we weren't busy mates around.
No.
Though he wanted to be.
Yeah, you didn't go grocery shopping together.
No, nothing like that. Yeah. And the Gun Club, obviously.
Oh, right.
Down at Fury Murray's, which was mind blowing. It was great. There's also a band that I wanted to see, and then they're in your doorstep. It was great.
There's a wee bit of the Gun Club about the Cowgirls from time to time, isn't there?
Well, I mean, I do. As a band, I love and always loved a bit of Jeffrey Lee. And there's also they're releasing all these remasters and stuff like that, which you keep thinking, like, it's probably the only band I've got like doublers of.
Yeah, all the different formats.
LPs,
stuff,
and generally I'd keep away from that, but.
So, do you think breakfast is the most important meal of the day?
Is that a timing thing? Is it your first meal of the day?
Yeah.
Is that so if you eat in the afternoons, it's still breakfast, or would you call it brunch?
Yeah, I think it's.
Because then again, your first meal of the day is the most important one, because That's got to sustain you for the rest of the day.
Do you ever not eat till later on in the day, or do you always make sure you have a good breakfast before you get out?
You've got to have a banana in the morning. That's probably the rules, isn't it?
Banana milkshake.
Probably not banana milkshake.
Yeah.
It's quite an overpowering thing. See, if you put it in a milkshake and you put other fruit in, banana's the one that usually tops all the other fruits.
So, scrambled eggs, would that be one of your top ones, or just a bit of toast or something?
The thing is, but you need to have a non-stick, really, pan for it, because any other ways it just gets messy, and like suddenly you look at that and think, how many days am I going to leave that for?
Yeah, because you're a vegetarian. So
well, no, a pescatarian.
Yeah. Do you take vitamin supplements?
I do, yes. I'm being encouraged by my son. He's sort of obsessed by it.
Alfie?
Yeah, Alfie is obsessed by it. So, and he encourages me to try out vitamin each other.
Really? You better be careful you don't overdose on vitamins.
Well, we can, and he's like finding new ones all the time, saying, look, what about this? I need to find another one.
So there's new vitamins coming out all the time?
I don't know. I think like you can get one for anything really. I'm guessing like hairy knees or like, how to sort that out.
And you like a cycle, the odd bit of yoga, is it fair to say that?
Yeah, occasionally, I do try, keep fit when I'm not.
And how do you keep mentally fit? We can all go to the gym to lift weights and cycle, but how do you keep your brain healthy?
I think like any of us that play, it's the music, man.
Yes.
It's the music, and being creative, or try to be creative. I think that helps a bit, because it's quite a positive thing. It is a positive thing, and I think like anybody, and if you're writing and stuff like that, even if it's like it's rubbish, like it's all subjective stuff anyway, but I think if you're in the process of doing it, then it's generally a good thing. Yeah.
So you're in two bands, you must be very mentally well. Or you need a lot of help. But you know, that's fine.
Yeah. Both of them are as important as each other, I believe. If that's what you're going for.
I don't know.
Because Pete and I are in the same band, and that's how I thought this was going to be quite difficult. We were both in the Bucky Range.
I've been trying to get Shug to do this interview for many, many moons, many long years, and now I understand why I didn't want to do it.
But so they're equally as important for my mental health.
Okay, so check out the Food of the Bendy, what's that called? The album?
Fortis Ifidus.
Fortis Ifidus by...
was it Strong and Loyal?
Strong and Loyal.
Something like that, yeah.
It's a smashing album.
Thank you.
And people can listen to it on streaming services if you want to check it out.
Yeah, you can do your Deezer thing.
And I think you should
earn us thousands.
I think you should do a music video.
Well, Alfie has had an attempt at that.
Which song? Glasgow Girls?
Glasgow Girls.
That's got single all over it, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, because it just keeps risking the hook.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, we have thought about it, and he's probably got the most expertise in the house.
Yeah.
So we'd like to keep things in house.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, I hope that happens, because that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll just get into his editing suite in his room.
And I think we'll need to call this the interview part 1, because there's so much more that we could talk about.
Jeez.
But for now, thanks very much, Shug.
Well, thank you, Pete.